Welcome everyone and welcome to All in All United. Your boy Reman Nico on the inside here earlier. Nico, I don't know, boy. I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. I don't know.
Ah,
I
that,
really don't know. You know. I don't know.
well, disappointing result, definitely. You know, and I guess this is what some of us were saying in terms of the lineups, in terms of going for everything, knowing the squad you have. Um, I personally think so. You know, yourself and others may not think that maybe the game against Liverpool maybe would have taken a lot out of us that we couldn't replicate that form today, you know, with the amount of energy and maybe the celebration even after the game, after beating Liverpool, maybe taking a lot of out of the team that they couldn't perform today. Um, but overall, it was a very disappointing result. Good
But you
night,
know,
good night, folks. Good night, good night, good night. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. But I mean, you could have see we approached that game real. I don't know, boy. I guess real disappointed by Nico, boy. After long here,
No, but and you see,
I lost for words. I don't know. I don't
uh,
know how to start the review to this evening, but I just I'm so upset.
yeah. But and we see, that you take any game one step at a time, one game at a time, one game at a time. But today, I could have seen that he had an eye on Arsenal game. With that key selection alone, he had an eye on the Arsenal game. So, why? Because it's Sheffield, they talk about taking it one game at a time. That's going out the window because the Sheffield who are at the bottom of the table. Right? So, to me, the stronger team definitely should have played today. And maybe our team resembling
No,
this
but
team today, especially with that's how especially changing with Tuanzebe and Tellez could have played against Liverpool. Because
no,
as
but
I was saying all right, I don't care for the FA Cup. But
no,
anyway,
but
go ahead. Let me hear.
Nico, but you say probably the stronger team should have played against today,
Sheffield.
and
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't understand what I mean because at the end of the day, one is
Yeah.
a team game, and two, I think even before the kickoff, when everybody saw the lineup, we would have said to ourselves, this team is good enough to beat Sheffield.
Yeah,
Now, I agree. Now,
we
I
talk
agree with you.
I had question marks
Right,
over the two players. Yeah.
right. So you had brought up something before, which I
Yeah.
would have highlighted two players that we changed in defense,
Yeah.
and your point of concern came to be a real one
Right.
at all time, right? But beyond that, Nico, when you look at the entire team, you had Pogba, you had Bruno, you had Bissaka, you had Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, you had all these players on the field. And then we went into this game at home and didn't show up. Right? I can't say if we turn a corner, Nico. I can't say we turn a
Yeah.
corner.
And maybe the amount of energy we expel against Liverpool,
I
we
didn't
just
think it's that, Nico.
we couldn't replicate because we barely create a chance today. The only chance that we created was the chance that Maguire scored. I could barely really remember another opportunity that we really carved Sheffield open at any point in time.
Nico, we approached this game as though, well, hey, here we're going on. They show points in it. They show points in it. We gonna win this.
But where that start from? Where that start from? Where
Where
that's
mean where it start from, Nico?
to me, right? Okay, the plan was to play by Italy, right? The
Yeah, but
plan was
by injured.
by injured. But Lindelof good enough to make the bench.
Yeah,
If we
but
if we taking it one game at a time, if Lindelof good enough to make the bench, then Lindelof should have started today, right? We want to get Shaw rest. To me, we should have get Shaw the rest against Liverpool, but play Shaw today. I know everything is in hindsight. You could have well,
yeah, and that the problem,
that's
Nico.
no, but let me tell you why it's not in hindsight, eh? Because when we had the discussion, I hear what we had on the show and we say here what the FA Cup, let me change it up for the FA Cup. As if for the league, every league game, let me play with full team. So it can't be in total hindsight because you know why? We predicted when myself, Fire Marshal predicted that here what, and that other guys on the show say here what, we want to FA Cup. Let me play with the other players. Let me play the talents and the Tonzebes and that. But you see the league, let me play the strongest team because you know why? It can end up with a day like today that we didn't want it.
All right, so I hear what you're saying, but then when they can, and if we were playing a Millwall or Scunthorpe or a Bristol
Right.
City in the FA Cup, I would have fully agreed with you. But let me remember we were playing Liverpool in the FA Cup.
But
You
that's
understand what I'm saying?
it.
So
But
you
that's
still
it.
you still want to properly represent yourself, right? And the team was rotated. He did not start Bruno. Marcel didn't play. You know, Bailly didn't play, and Bailly was penned into play today. Bailly got injured in training yesterday, and that's how Bailly got left out. Lindelof cannot handle 2 games in a week. You got to understand the situation of the team in right now in terms of trying to manage injuries.
But,
So Bailly can go into the game, no, but you understand what I'm saying, Nico?
well,
Because
yes,
I
and they
want to
were
go beyond.
justified. They were justified.
I go in
But,
beyond.
but
I go in beyond. We should have played this one, and we should have played that one. And I'm telling you, the team that we put out on the field today was good enough, regardless as to who didn't play and who played, to take care of Sheffield United. That's all I'm saying.
so, but clearly it wasn't so.
But I say again, Nico,
Clearly it wasn't so.
apart from the concerns you had
Uh-huh.
before kickoff with the 2 players,
Right.
you was cool with the team. You was cool with the selection.
Well, I was cool because yes, we said, well, all right, they'll get a shift in today. But
Right.
what I saying is, I would have, if in terms of the message, I understand that here what, I would have rather these guys played against Liverpool than today. Honestly, I know things didn't work out with Lindelof, but if I was earlier to tell Lindelof, yeah, what going on? You had to play today. You had to.
Hindsight, Nico. Right?
Let me hope Bailly get fit because the mere fact, right, that Tonzebe played today and not Lindelof, that means that Bailly injury worse than it is. Because that means Bailly may not even recover for the Arsenal game. So you say, well, here what I wanna, so that will be 3 games more or less in a week for Lindelof.
Right.
So I'll take the hit today with Tonzebe. Right? So
that makes sense.
he could be out.
It makes sense, right?
Of course, of course, after when you could have played Tonzebe in the FA Cup. But anyway, let me move on.
Yeah, let me get some comments, fellas. All forgive me because this performance and result today, I wasn't seeing that coming. You understand what I'm saying? Dwayne, welcome, man. Thanks for joining me. Saying good night, brothers. I'm mad, vexed, and disappointed at the same time, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we feel that pain. What you going to feel that pain?
Richard, welcome, buddy. He's saying the only thing is the team selection that was the problem. Only underestimated Sheffield. You feel so by Richard,
Yeah.
Just like Istanbul, I will continue to represent and say we have enough quality. I think more than the team was the mentality. We went into the game with the wrong mentality. We had the quality on the field to beat this team. I have no doubts we mashing up Arsenal.
I really hope so. I do much, man. I kind of optimistic with that one, but we had to beat them. We had to beat them.
Richard also saying and men bashing Martial. They had a bash too and the schoolboy defended and they here to kick out the ball. We go talk about that whole scenario where that second goal was conceded. That was real poor.
Yeah,
that was real poor defending. Peter, welcome, man. He's saying honestly, my opinion, we underestimated this team. We did play crisp football initially, however, too much loose passes and Axel too, and Zebe was just the weakest link that caused the defensive chain to break. Tellers was good, but the chemistry between him and Rashford did not really click. That's true. Rashford played more centrally, causing him to be out of position at times. I will comment on that. I will comment on that because I saw something with how Oli tends to like to play his wide attackers as more inside forwards. Them fellas is not really wingers, so they will not go wide and cross in. And that's where the wing backs, Bissaka and Tellez, they just provide the kind of width to bring the crosses now. So you'll never find a Rashford or Greenwood or even Marcel when he play pulling out and running on the byline to bring across. They don't really play like that now. Davian, welcome, buddy. He's saying Marcel had to get bashed. He lost the ball that led to the second goal and been losing the ball all game. Now, here what's going on, Davian. Marcel had a poor game today, but you see that rubbish you're talking there, like crap. And not stepping at all. Here we're going on plenty of we, because watching all over social media, Marcel getting bashed, as though Marcel alone was on the field. Let me correct that, Solid. That's real crap. He had a poor game, but I could call 10 other players on the field who had poor games, just as poor. He also saying Tuanzebe first start in how long he would get a pass for me. How much games Marcel playing have zero impact now? Nico.
Yeah,
let me get into the mix.
Yeah.
The game, you know, my thoughts, Nico, I thought the game started positive. You know, we were moving along the ball nicely. You could have seen Sheffield had the game plan to sit back. Sheffield played the usual 3-5-2. You understand? So we knew that they came to Old Trafford to defend for their life. You could tell a team like Sheffield, their first objective is not to concede. That is why they play so defensive. You know, there's a team, industrious player, they know about industry, they know about structure, they know about holding the form, you know, and trying to frustrate us. That was their game plan. So I knew today our plan was to score first and try to, you know, control the game after that. We started off the game moving the ball really nicely, as I find, you know, in terms of the threats that they would have had up top. I thought that Tuanzebe and Maguire, even Pogba, Bissaka, all of them was dealing with it properly. Until Nico, that one set piece, you know what I'm saying, that we know has been a problem for this team for so long. As we can't defend set pieces, we can't defend corners, we can't defend free kicks. We saw in the first time, the first game, Nico, when we had played Sheffield home, the way that they were putting their crosses, they were overloading, they were pressing us back on our goal line and swinging the ball inside the box, the goal mouth. And yet still we stand up there and we are allowing players to bully our defenders. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Ferguson, one of Sir Alex Ferguson's statements, great attacks will win you games, but great defenses win you titles. If my forward line off a day, oh gosh, at least hold on the line now. Let me draw the game. I prefer that than all come and concede now. And my attacking line, we ain't have no chemistry. We have an off day, but you're expecting my defense to come and my attack to come and score 3-4 goals. So that was my attitude. That first half was poor, Nico. You understand? After that, we just showed that we lack ideas. You know, Sheffield was happy to give us possession. Nothing was penetrative. It had no movement up top. No kind of chemistry between Marcel, Rashford, and Greenwood. Bruno had an off day. Right?
Yeah, so again, I agree with, we started off 5-5 well bright. For the first 10-15 minutes, possession-wise, we was moving the ball, the energy within the team looked real good for that first 10-15 minutes. However, what I was seeing, Reams, I find Tuanzebe was a little too wide right. So I was always seeing that a proper through ball between himself and Maguire was cutting 2 of them in half real easy. Because to me, they wasn't holding a proper structure to the back. Right? For some reason, you see Maguire going quite left, but that he always do. And then Tuanzebe, he pulling right. So I was always seeing this big gap between 2 of them. That a true ball would have killed them. Right? And you saw where it happened once where Bissaka was kind of covering, but you know, kind of pulling back the player, which he could, if another day he could have get sent off for that. And he end up getting the ball, right? But I saw mistakes within that defense, right? Again, we continue to suffer on the set plays. Yes, they could have said that De Gea was fouled, but to me, again, too weak from De Gea. De Gea should have been going up the clear that ball. Yes, he'll get hit from behind, right? Another day they might have called it back, but again, to me, to go real soft, so I not defending that, because if I could have say that the last game when I can't remember who we played, when Maguire scored the header and we say, well, here what? That was no foul. Right? Then I touch like what the hair get today, I shouldn't say that foul either. Right? So definitely the hair should have been stronger. And just as you said after, in terms of in terms of creating chances, we are already lacking ideas. Yes, I know the guys down on Marshall, but I think that is something cumulative more than just today, because Rashford was poor, right? Bruno was poor. Greenwood maybe was the best of the lot. But the thing is that people looking for a result from Marshall over time, and for some reason you're not giving, or you're not doing what people want to see. So with the accumulation, with the cumulative effect, that he may get most of the bashing, not saying that he was the worst on the day, because to me, Rashford was worse. To me, Rashford didn't do anything. As much as, and then Marshall started with a shoulder injury. You don't know how much that affected him when he fell. You don't know how much it affected him in the game. So overall, the first half, going a goal behind, not even threatening to equalize before the half, was very disappointing.
Yeah, but you mentioned something, Nico, but before I respond to it, let me just get this comment from Peter. Peter saying, according to what you said, Reem, about Rashford, he is an inverted winger, which means that he collects the ball from wide and comes inside. But if you look carefully at Sheffield's setup today, they encourage more on the right than on the left. That's why Rashford moved over to the right to get more involved. They had a plan, and it was to prevent Rashford and Bruno to have the ball, and Bruno was just not himself. But I was not disappointed with the performance, just the result I find, and the final third playmaking. Good comment, man. Davian also saying everybody was bad, but for me, but Marcel was the worst for me. Yeah, no problem, buddy. That's your opinion, right? You talk about the defense, Nico, and you were seeing you were talking about how you felt that 200 was pulling too much to the right. And while that was true, I always thought, Nico, throughout the game, I didn't see Sheffield really breaking that line. I felt that even though we were playing a high line and they would have wanted to play counter-attacking football, I didn't really feel threatened. You understand what I'm saying? Even if it went through and no we'd have catch them, Nico, I'll be honest with you. My concern every time we go into games like these, my concern is always how we defend set pieces, how we defend corners, free kicks. And then you're going up against a team like Sheffield United, who are known more for their presence in the box and getting and making the most of them kind of opportunities, as opposed to a through ball, pressing high, trying to pounce on errors and get a goal. But in terms of
let's say it again, it had the opportunity where things different, and when Musaka he sent off a red card.
Yeah, but when they consider
so that means Sheffield was seeing that space and was targeting that space. And that moment that they got through there, right, is either one-on-one on the keeper, right, or a red card. So there was a possibility that we could have been broken down there and lost the game even on that play. Right? Because you were seeing it. I watched it on the game. I said, but why had this big space between these two players? If I could counter attack, yes, they might not have much space, speed on the counter with some of the players that they have, right? But something could happen where a man might have to make a last shackle because one man running between two men.
Yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying. Right? But for me, the likelihood of them scoring from open play like that, Nico, how much goals they score from open play?
No, but it's scoring now.
But then the still score apart from the second goal where we more or less give them that goal. Then they score from no open play. So all I'm saying is I think how defensively how we set up, I wasn't really concerned so much about them really breaking that line like that. We've seen better teams play us and better teams that break we don't like that. You know?
But what that would also show is the communication with the back four.
Well, yeah.
Communication with the back two. And that would have showed even for the first goal and for the second goal also. So which to me showed that they were limited or no communication within the back four. And
Yeah.
at Premier League level, you can't afford to have that. Because if I am Maguire and I find that, yeah, what my centre back pulling much, because I was looking, I find my centre back pulling wide and leaving big spaces within the defense. Maybe it's something they plan in training. But I for some reason I say, hey, you know, I mean, talk to him and say, hey, come back, let me keep it tight, let me keep it compact, just in case of anything. But he wasn't seeing that, you know. So anytime that happened, then you're leaving room for mistakes, you're leaving room for things like what happened today to happen.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I had noticed as well, Nico, and I don't know, from your point of view, what you think, but I found that I don't know, but I find since like other managers started talk in terms of decisions that it going against us and it affecting us because when you go back to the Fred penalty against Sheffield United, not Sheffield United, Fulham last week, that was a blatant penalty. You know what I'm saying? When Harry Maguire went up for the header against who it was Wolves or something, or I can't remember who
And
we
I was
playing.
the team
Burnley.
Burnley,
Burnley.
Burnley, Burnley.
You know what I'm saying? Then that was our next call that went against us. Then today, I don't know what's your opinion, but that foul at the call on Harry Maguire going into for the header that what's his name Ramsdale
Yeah.
dropped. How that I mean, tell me, 'cause I was left confused.
Yeah, and I guess no consistency because if you could let the goal against us stand, then why you stop?
Exactly.
And to me, the consistency should come with even with VAR. So VAR should say here what they will contact on the here and they gave the goal, right? And with minimal contact against Ramsdale, you know what I mean? And he stopped the goal. So then VAR should have said, you know what I mean, goal because it's worse contact on the here than on Ramsdale. So I guess maybe as I said, maybe referees are more targeting us, with some of the decisions because of the other managers pressuring them. You know, I mean, I guess, and the world is, referees is a human, right? And they could be swayed by other opinions or information around them. So maybe possibly that going against the decisions.
Yeah, but I think that and as I said before, Nico, and I mean I know Callum they say we can't complain, but at the end of the day, fair is fair, right is right. And I think we really on the better end of the stick when coming to these kind of decisions that referees making. You
Yeah,
know?
because as you said, the Burnley goal and even today, and you talk about the Fred penalty that to me again, I mean, no chance to play the ball, they take that man in the area, to me,
And, and and you see sometimes that is the I don't want to use the term luck, right? Because I mean it's a blatant penalty, it's not a foul, it's a good goal. But I think this is the kind of luck sometimes it is need when the team playing as badly as we did today now. You know, as I'm saying that goal would have go along with to kind of, bring us back into shape and say, hey, yeah, what's going on?
exactly that equalized play.
Exactly, exactly, Peter saying, I think what made we really struggle defensively is Tuanzebe was being caught off guard and being too stagnant, and that probably caused because of the yellow card he received. And he's a more physical, rough type of defender who was trying to get minimal contact. He should have been substituted and probably had two on top of the diamond. Two on top with a diamond with a diamond central. You know, I think that challenge where Tuanzebe went in for that and where he got a yellow card, that was totally unnecessary. I don't know. It looked out of character for Tuanzebe to me because he just went.
Match fitness. That was after half. That was 46 minutes or something like that. So I fatigue.
That was in the second half.
No, first half. I mean, the end of the first half, maybe
Oh, okay.
time in the first half. So definitely that was fatigue that he led him to go into that challenge.
All right. So Nico, let me look at this next aspect, right? The where I think our strong point is attack, and in my opinion, where I think we broke down was when they're going up against a team that's defensively astute, we know that from Sheffield. You know what I'm saying? They play five at the back, right? So anytime we come in, they have the three already there, and then they have the two wide players ready to tuck in. So you defend against five as your first line of your low block, and then you have other players from midfield dropping back. So because there were times I was looking at the game, Nick, when I see in Pogba and Matic, bouncing the ball in midfield, and I asked myself, how are we gonna break down that? Because we're taking so long to transition the ball, right? Sheffield were very, very, aware of their defensive responsibility and the setup that they needed to maintain to narrow spaces. Because we tried some through balls and they were just lying down and cleaning it up. Plenty of our passes were poor as well. Because I felt like as though we were running out of ideas now, because we realized, well, hey, our normal way of playing not really working. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Nico, you tell me, because I don't want to come across as biased, but you had three defenders in the box. So every time Martial get the ball, it had three defenders. Rashford and Mason was supposed to be cutting in. And then Bissaka and Telles was supposed to be coming wide, but Telles was barely overlapping Rashford. And I think that's one of the issues we were having with Telles before. Because you realize when Shaw came on, what was going on with Shaw, you were only seeing the overlap on the right-hand side with Bissaka. You was not seeing where Telles was overlapping Rashford. To pull to pull out a defender and try to double team. Because every time one of our attackers got the ball, whether it's Rashford, Marcel or Greenwood, it always had two or three Sheffield players around them. So I don't understand if Oli saw that in the game and what he did or he told them at halftime to try to work against that. But we looked like we didn't have ideas and Sheffield were just dealing with us every time we came in the box.
Regular analysis, but to me it really seemed like a bit of hangover. Because for some reason it was blatant, and we know that's how Sheffield played. We know that's how most teams just play against United. If you look at the game against Burnley, if you look at even Southampton, that all their play is just to contain us, and when they get a chance to hit on the counter, right? And the team, and any team right now who have a proper structure, right, willing to die for the cause, right, then we are going to struggle. Because, and then again too, a lot of our goals have dried up. So we can't even want to win a championship without even scoring goals now, because we're really struggling to create. We're struggling to create chances for our attackers, right? Because as you would always say that Marshall is the best finisher in the team, right? But when last has Marshall gotten an opportunity to where he could have, taken a chance? I can't remember, right? So definitely, I don't know, I can't even say personal in terms of the attacking play, because I think we played all our best attacking players. For me, I like to see again Cavani in the team from the start, because I think he's really a threat in terms of even pulling players and his movement. I think we are very stagnant at the top. So when we have Cavani, we just still create that bit of confusion amongst defenders, because he do a bit more movement. And again, for me, I mean, I know you're gonna be against that Cavani should have started it. But I know only looking at the Arsenal game ahead, I think we are wanting to start the Arsenal game, so we try to keep him fresh. But I just think that we're really struggling to create at the moment. To say, you would have brought up some good points in terms of you're supposed to be getting quality from Telles overlapping, right? To actually pull players, create that space inside. Last time Callum would have said what would have helped also is taking shots from outside. Taking shots from outside would have create where players don't want to come out. And when players come out, you create that space now to slip it. Maybe we should have tried that. Our transition again was very slow, and against international players, which most of players from Sheffield, don't mind at the rock bottom, a lot of their players are international players. So the moment you give them time to set up that whatever structure, whatever block, it's difficult to penetrate. So we had to get the ball moving faster, and we had to be more penetrative in terms of our runs from the fullbacks, because you would have said is wide forwards with this place, so this players always run in. So we had to get more quality coming from the wing or from the wing backs. Wan-Bissaka tried today, but again, we know he's not the most prolific going forward. And I think definitely we struggle to create because one, we don't have the quality from the wing backs, and two, it's only really Bruno that takes shots from outside. So outside of Bruno, nobody else really take a shot from outside. So I guess if we have more of that, maybe that might help also. More quality from players taking shots from outside, that might help.
But here it is, right? And it's something I noticed today, and I hear a lot of people saying, Cavani movement of the ball might have helped today. And I don't even want to argue that. But City play Sheffield, and I think City had hit them for about 5 or something. City don't have a Cavani type striker. But what City is very good at, is the intricate passing and plays in and around the box. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Oli was looking at that because we have the players, but I just felt that the spaces were too wide between where we were trying to build the football from and where we were trying to get it to. It had so much times I see, because you're trying to get your forward in number 9 to run behind the line or run left and run right in a box where you have 3 solid defenders who just gonna throw the frame and cut out every single pass, right? Now, and I have evidence to show that even when Cavani came on, everything that went to Cavani get cut off too. So that's what I'm saying, probably the movement in the box, why people crying for that, probably, who knows, that may not have worked, because the team that beaten up Sheffield are teams that have intricate movement and touches in and around the box. And there were so many times I saw Martial on the back of Jagielka calling for the ball. And how much times the man get the ball to feet, at least try to spin the defender or try to link up play. It had a couple of times when Rashford was traveling with it and he played the 1-2 with Martial, but they get crowd out. Sometimes that just go through and a man can get tripped up in the box, and that is the kind of chance that you want. So from the time them realize that, hey, yeah, we're going to these fellas quick inside it, they're going to try to back off. And these things is what it creates space. You know what I'm saying? So I hear probably Cavani could have started in Nick 1 and the swinging 3 ball and he scored a hat-trick. But from what I saw today in terms of how Sheffield 3 central defenders was cleaning up everything that came aerially inside our box, I am saying we were supposed to get the ball a little more to fit to our front 3 to get a little intricate 1-2s to beat the defender. Look at one, and I want to remind you of one play that happened. Cavani came on, and I don't know if it's Matic or Pogba, played that ball straight to Cavani, to Bruno, and Bruno played to Cavani, and Bruno spin, and it was a 1-2, and Bruno was in the box, but Bruno just get body off from the defender. That is the kind of play you have to employ to beat a team that is below block. You can be crossing in balls right through. Your win percentage for that will be very, very low, and you'll be more lucky to win a header and score than not. And that is my point. Plenty times I saw Martial there waiting, calling for the ball, holding Jagielka off his shoulder. Like a plenty times I saw Rashford coming into space, calling for the ball. And then you'll see Maguire turn and he'll spin and he'll up fast sideways pass. We need them kind of penetrative passes to come a little more. And when we don't do that, Nico, it's just causing Sheffield to shift and just adjust the defensive line. And by the time you look for Rashford now or you look for Greenwood now, it's because that space doesn't get closed up already. Matic, Maguire, and even Pogba, they were too slow in the build-up. And that was annoying today.
Agreed, 100%.
I see 2 times, Nico, Rashford pop his hand and throw it back down because he seen the space, he waiting for it. And then you go turn and give back to Anzebe, or you go turn and give back Pogba. For Pogba to deliver on the ball, and then give Wan-Bissaka. And then Wan-Bissaka can give back Pogba, and Pogba can give back to Anzebe. And to Anzebe
can give them that time to set up the defense there. It's difficult to break down.
Exactly. So we need to transition fast and we need to play the ball when the men calling for it. Let we win the fouls, play it and let the man foul Rashford, let the man foul Martial, let the man foul Greenwood. You understand what I'm saying?
Transitions.
Let me just get some comments on the inside here. Simeon saying, okay, I late, but that second goal was. Nicole, let me talk about that second goal now, boy.
Look at the comments. Look at the comments in the music.
Oh God. He's saying, but let me preach. Long have I foreseen this doom. No decent white players, few chances that we didn't capitalize on, and no organizer or organization in defense. Yeah. I think you summarized the whole game there, Simeon. All right. Hey, Rudy, welcome, man. He's saying, man, I feel like we have a core group of players that play fluent football today with one or two starters didn't start make us have moments of fluidity, but not consistent. So I think we really only have one strong group of starting 11. I don't know if I read that correct, Nico. I read that correct, right?
Yeah. And my point.
He's also saying, in my opinion, this game was screaming for Fred to play. Yeah, and just to speed up the football a little bit, you know. Simeon saying the Venezuelan. I think everybody would have noticed.
Yeah, because we watching Arsenal coming up at the weekend. To me, every game as an important game. Don't be watching up the road at Arsenal because you never know what could happen then. We win in front of we. But that done gone already. So up to the next game now.
He pressure high and press and make opposing players have little to no time on the ball. That's what Fred did do, right? Yeah. I'm not sure why and AMS Anthony Marcel didn't target Jagiel can play off his shoulder and keep him. Yeah, well, that's what he was doing, Rudy. I don't know if you see that. That's what he was doing when he wasn't getting service. He wasn't getting the ball because they were opting to go wide. Peter's asking, I want your opinion. This was a game good for Mata, Beak and Bruno. We really need to break those tight zone marking at times, low blocks, as we said. But more Sheffield bodies was guarding the 18. So we need faster passing and more wing play.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Ian, welcome, man. Thanks for joining.
You never know. You never know, But for some, at that point, I thought Mata was coming on. Because some Mata was open up and I say this game screwed if I Mata. But it didn't happen.
Rudy said one more thing. I know people say Bruno tries too many Hollywood passes, and personally, I don't mind that. But I think he don't try the 1-2 and the short passes and runs enough. Chelsea was a little bit guilty of that. And the one time he tried it today, Rudy,
almost get through. Yeah.
He almost get through. I am saying sorry to say, but when I saw Tuanzebe start tonight, I had a bad feeling. Nico was saying that, in my opinion, we were due out for defeat because we cannot continue to go under and expect to win. That's very correct.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Rudy's also saying, I agree with you. My thoughts exactly. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the point was.
I think in terms of our transition, the intricate passing, we need more that to create that space now.
Yeah. Okay. Sheffield have a lot of grit. They will fight and get physical. And sometimes you have to use your guile to beat that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fight a physical game against a physical team, most of you come out second best. You know, thought Rashford didn't look 100% as well. I know he had a little knock. Maybe he's still nursing the little knock.
Possibly.
But Rashford was a fighter earlier. Simeon saying that sounds like the Venezuelan who does transition with speed. He does stand up on free kicks too.
Yeah.
I am saying I thought we would have seen Mata today. Everybody's saying that. Simeon saying Marcel get vexed and in worry to run back.
Yeah. So we can get into the second goal. Well, I was seeing that in slow motion. I saying, my gosh. I open big. Like somebody press now, somebody go to the ball, somebody challenge somebody. So Tellez, Matic, who else? Who else you can blame in that?
Maguire,
I don't know if Rashford, I don't know if
Martial.
what's man? Ooh, that's a can goal. It was too much in a slow motion where like nobody wanted to press the ball, nobody wanted to at least challenge the defender. The attacker had so much time to pick his spot. I think if it didn't come off at Tonzebe, it would have still scored. You know, because the hair was already going, and to me, that ball was on target. That shot was on target.
But I feel if it didn't get affected,
I don't know why. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really don't know how to say, how to really explain that goal. I don't know if it's because, let me say, Tellez. I know what happened was, I know Tellez and Matic end up switching places for some reason. So Matic end up as the left back. Tellez went on the inside for whatever reason. So now nobody recovered. Nobody recovered. So like Tellez said, well, like Matic, you go handle that. And after that, that was all it. Because Tellez in the position where, let me say, Matic should have been, where Matic should have pressed the player on the ball, but he just stand up, and then Matic wide, and that's looking, so nobody challenged for the ball, and it was just a free shot on goal, and it was chaotic for about an entire minute before that play, because at that moment, and it happened when they scored the first goal also. The only moment in the game, on the first half, that they had a moment where they was playing good, where they had decent passes, where you saw that there was building momentum, then when they scored. And safely for the second goal. As they build, and the only time in the second half, when they build a bit of momentum, is when they scored again. You know, so that was really disappointing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you remember, right? It had a part in the game when Bruno had lost the ball.
Right.
Right? And I think it's Ampadu.
Right.
Had a run on goal and he run through the center of the goal. Right, and Bruno tracked that man.
Yeah.
You understand? Bruno lost the ball.
Yeah.
And Bruno tracked that man and win back that ball.
Yeah.
Not only that, when Marcel had lost that ball, because it's from that point, that's where the goal came from.
Right.
Marcel stayed on the ground and Marcel just gesticulating to the referee. He shall I get some foul or something, whatever. All that time happened, ball come back, transition, men passing, them playing ping pong in the Sheffield United players playing ping pong in the box. Marcel reached back in the box. Marcel kind of put his hand behind the back. I don't know if it's because them fellas conscious of handball, but Marcel didn't attack the ball. Tellez didn't attack the ball. Not only that, the ball went through to the here and the here make a kind of shaky clearance.
Yeah, forget that one way.
And it come back in.
What was that?
Yeah, it bounced off.
I don't think he cleared out.
That couldn't be a clearance, Nico.
Yeah, that couldn't be a clearance. That pass, and he passed to whoever.
Right. Then it came back. The fella shoot the same person get next a chance. Yeah. Shoot up goal. It come off by not by two and Zebe foot. I don't know what two and Zebe and Maguire doing together. You know what I'm saying? Bruno is the only one who came back.
Yeah, to challenge. Yes.
To try to actually challenge that player in a way.
Yeah.
What the rest of them things was doing?
Yeah. They was watching. Everybody that's ball watching.
You telling me?
Yeah, I'm hoping that you get outside just now, make a bad pass just now, and just hoping nobody take responsibility to challenge to win that ball. So that second goal was definitely deflated the team. But honestly, for some reason, Reams, even when Maguire scored the goal, right, which I know he was crying out for Maguire to score from a header, finally he did. Unfortunately, it was a losing attempt. But even when Maguire scored that goal, as in future games when we scored from going behind, where I feel I feel like we're gonna win this game. I didn't feel that today. For some reason, I didn't feel that. I don't know if it's because of the prize at the end, maybe going back to the top, that maybe even for myself, me feeling more nervous. But for some reason, when we equalized, I didn't feel confident that we was going to win the game. I didn't feel that.
apparently before kickoff, Nico, everybody on the Man United team thought that they were going to win the game and it was going to be a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? Because as you
Istanbul all
say,
over. Istanbul all over.
yeah, and as you say, Nico, when we equalize, them fellas I sure them fellas would think, well, yeah, man,
Yeah.
well, you know,
Cavani to come on just now.
yeah,
That goal chat, think something will happen. We will win the game. Everybody just jump the shoulders again and complacency step in again and boom.
But then, and you know what proper annoying, Nico, is the fact that in that situation, had we been in the box, look, I could go back again to that same 1-2 that we were talking about between Bruno and Cavani.
Right.
You feel a Sheffield player was going to let Bruno, was going to just put you behind the back and let Bruno run through? He was going to risk a VAR decision for penalty. Why it is we not defending sensibly like that or defending for life like that? Why we stepping off players and putting your hand behind your back and thinking he gonna miss? Why we doing that for?
All that stem from the changes to the back. Because to me, you didn't have proper chemistry with Tellez and whoever else was playing on the left wing. If it was Marshall, if it was Rashford, if it was whoever, like it had no chemistry between the two, right? It had no communication and no chemistry between Maguire and Tonzebe, to me. But the thing is, we had so much of possession that it really didn't show them up. But let me say if we did play against a team that would have showed us up, Maguire and Tonzebe, they must have get skinned. I tell you that, let me say if it wasn't Sheffield like there was another team, right? Only would I tell Lindelof, I'm sorry, but you had to play. I'm sorry, but you had to play.
I am saying I saw a play when a Sheffield player was attacking on the left and Rashford didn't. Rashford made no attempt to try to get the ball from me. Yeah. The only player of the attacking three, the front three, that were really tracking and trying to help defensively. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw was Greenwood. You understand? I don't know if where's that?
I said Greenwood had a good game today.
Yeah, he was the only one who I see was actually trying to track back. You understand what I'm saying? Rashford was disappointing today. I think you had noted it earlier, Nico. And, well, Marcel was disappointing, And I think you make a real good point, Nico, in that the fact that Marcel don't have he don't have what's the term you use here? No goals in the bank to be easy on him. So people will always be looking at him. He's an easy scapegoat, and today's performance, even though I don't think it was as bad as some people make it out to be, you could understand, that why people want to go in. Yeah, you understand why people want to go in on him. People will be a little more forgiving because Rashford had 14 goals. People will be a little more forgiving with Bruno because Bruno scoring. So I mean, it was a frustrating night for fans because we're expecting better from the boys.
Good night. All is well. Yes, I hope all is well on your side also.
All is well, Nico Tui?
Yeah, of course. Outside of Man United, you know what I mean? United is just Man United. Man United will continue long after us.
Yeah, for real, eh? Yeah. But for the moment, Karina, all is not well. Right?
We're still in a good position, man. We're still in a good position still. Regardless of the result, I think we're in a position where I honestly didn't think we'd have been at the start of the season. But I think we're in a good position still. I think City in a rich being a form right now, and you have to jack the jacket. When you're in form, you're in form. Otherwise, as long as we stay in and about, you never know what could happen from this season.
I mean, you make a good point, Nico. So let me just put aside, my feeling right now and really comment on be a little more positive with this point of view here.
Before you get into that, I don't want to break it, but there's some comments that they wanted to go to before you reach that because you say all your nice things, and then have to go back to these comments. Okay? Then get any comments that you miss, and then we can just iron it out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Seriously, because Bayern play either tackle or penalty. Yeah, well, we know Barry would have throw his frame either way, you know, he'd have put it, he'd have make that. We might have be current with Barry for giving away a penalty,
Yeah,
you know, but at least we know he'd have put his body there.
of course.
I am saying I sure only cost them like a Trini. But, a Trini that know to talk Portuguese, French, English, Dutch, Uruguayan, yeah, that's in all them language. So they're saying they all had bad efforts, but shouldn't be negotiable. Hey Kurt, welcome. Kurt, why you be joining we review so late, buddy?
Reason so I feel it miss some high up.
I missed some high up.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to get some blame.
All right. Yeah, I am saying the hair get some blame. He was supposed to kick that ball out. Yeah, definitely. The hair, Wan Bissaka, and Maguire, and Tellez.
Yeah.
Then secondary, Martial. Cause all of them fellas stand up in the box and watch their ball, watch their goal score. Right, I think I had that.
Yeah, Instagram for the second goal, yeah. Yeah, for some reason. I thought I was in dreamland, boy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that proper malfunction. Malfunction. Yeah. Simeon saying left side was overrun. Tellez was marking 2 men. I think that is why Oli changed and switched Rashford to the right and send Greenwood to the left because Greenwood was doing a lot more defensive work.
Yeah.
Kurt said Dread Axel like he was stargazing boy.
Oh. Yeah. I say he was real fat-footed though. He was. Again, maybe match fitness too, eh?
He said them fellas like they was playing knockabout. But Nico say the Liverpool they was still on the high boy from the Liverpool.
Yeah.
Hey Kempton, welcome man. Thanks for joining. He's saying who does do nutrition for our players? Dread I find them fellas weak enough. Them fellas just want to be strong when they want to be strong, bro. Trust me. You understand? Anyway, so let me try to end off this stream on a positive, Nico. I don't think any sane person would I think we'd have go through the rest of the season, Nico, without losing a game. I'm not playing like that, right? All I got some throws here, right? I don't think we could have. Let's go ahead of ourselves thinking that for the rest of the game that we were going to play, we wasn't going to drop points, right? I think, as you said, Nico, we're still in a good place, you know, positionally because Liverpool playing Spurs tomorrow. So that we hope anytime them kind of giants play, points go drop now, you know. Chelsea drop points today with Wolves, you know. Leicester and Everton drop points today, you know. So it's as bad as the loss.
Yeah, as if my tweeted.
Yeah, you know, and I expected us to drop more points throughout the season earlier, you know. But most important thing is that we respond. And just like how we did say, if we don't beat Fulham, then the draw against Liverpool wouldn't make sense. If we don't beat Arsenal, then this loss could be even worse. You understand? So it's all about dusting off.
Yeah.
And we go at Arsenal and let me try and, you know, because Arsenal on a kind of resurgence to Nico.
Yeah, for sure. I hear there's only the best football when they play United, eh?
Yeah. So I think in you know, looking at things now, you know, it's not as bad as that, but I think the loss could have come at a real good place to kind of give us a little reality check too now.
Exactly.
Because we approach the game with a kind of arrogance that yes, you want, but the kind of arrogance we approached the game with was a little too casual now. You know, the arrogance wasn't matched with a performance. To say, well, that's the good kind of arrogance. The arrogance we was a careless, casual, passive arrogance that we approach this game with. And hopefully this loss could be the right kick up the fellas to get them playing some better football come Sunday, Saturday, and going forward, you know?
Yeah, and also I really checked the Ollie, right? So play a best team for me for the league. That is for me. Play a best team for the league. Right? If you want to give players an opportunity, for me, get them into the FA Cup now. You feel that show need a rest? Alright, the FA Cup, sure take a rest. The Europa League, even, maybe sure play a lot of games in the league. We're doing well in the league. Alright, sure. Tell us play this one, you resting for the league. You know what I mean? It had players who you know could play and who, for some reason, alright, you could get a rest. You know, and to me, I think there's a reality check for Oli in terms of that. You know, because today I know, yes, it would have been forced on him in terms of Tonzebe playing. But to me, to change Tonzebe and Tellers, to me, it's a little risky. You know, so even if it was, you had to play Tonzebe, but tell sure, sorry, but here what? For that defensive stability, we need on the left side. You know, so to me, it was like a premeditated lineup. From 2 weeks on, we had this lineup in his head. And he said, all right, because you see for Sheffield, rock bottom, they may say nothing. All right, I'm playing Tellers and I'm playing Tonzebe or whoever else. But it didn't happen, let me say from yesterday, it didn't happen. Maybe you already made up your mind to play Tellers. I would take that. But you was playing Tellers with Bayi, but Bayi didn't happen. Then, all right, yeah, what? My plan was this, but that can't work again. Sure, yeah, that play. You know, and I think that may have solidified the defense a bit more because to concede 2 goals against the bottom team is not really characteristic of how we have been playing. And that would definitely show, don't mind, it's an overall team effort, but it would show the defense that we conceded 2 goals. And when you look, we changed 2 players in the defense that was doing excellent from before.
Yeah. I hope that loss makes our players angry and we come out and play ball on Saturday. Definitely. We need a response. We need a response from them fellas now. Kenton saying one change was needed. You know, we just needed Fred to come out and press the ball. This Olegona man boy. I think Nico, you had said it right. Ollie, he came into the game watching the Arsenal game now, you know?
Yeah. And even he was saying in his pressers that, yeah, what, we're taking one game at a time. So if we're taking one game at a time, then, yes, as we know, yes, we had the Arsenal game in mind. But this is Premier League, don't take no things for granted.
Yeah, but I could still challenge that in Nico because taking one game at a time, you still have to think about 3 days later because you don't want you had to look at physical shape, you had to look at condition, you had to look at readiness. So I could understand the need to rotate, and it's not like he made wholesale rotation.
I understand that too, but rotate for the FA Cup. Don't rotate for the league. That's what I say. Rotate as much as you want for the FA Cup, and it don't matter to me. Honestly, I'm glad to see one of them academy young boys and them playing in the FA Cup. Honestly, to see what I have. Right? Let me see a Palestrini in the FA Cup. Let me see what Palestrini bring in. You know what I mean? Let me see the future United. I gotta see that. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, and let me hope that, you know, if we had to drop points, let drop points against some of the bigger teams now, man. You know, and I mean, I think I've seen Kurt saying, trust me, City get a 6-point gap on us. If City gets a 6-point gap on us, it will be hard for us to catch them because them and Arsenal in form right now. But trust me, right? A lot of the big teams still have to play each other. You know, we're now going into the second half of the season. You know, so City still have to play Liverpool, City have to play Tottenham. So City go drop points earlier. You know, the form good, but the football real funny earlier, you know?
We have a stretch coming up on us, eh?
Yeah.
Coming up, anything could happen, eh? Game could swing anyway.
Yeah. So for us and for everybody, you know, so let us try to get the job done. As I said before, yeah, we can't win the rest of all the games for the rest of the season, you know. So let's just hope favors happen around us as well, you know. But we had to do our job. So Nico, I think that brings us to the end of the review, you know. I mean, it was not good day at the office. And I mean, sometimes I go prefer we play good and lose than this kind of rubbish now, you know. On another note, Igalo, you know, would have his loan with the club would have ended, and he's now back on his way to China. You know, so Igalo, if you ever watch this video, thank you sir for you know the goals. You know, and I mean you get to live your dream, you know. So Big up to yourself and all the best in the future, man. You know?
Definitely.
Any closing thoughts, Nico?
Davian, boy, I know Reem kind of get down on it today with the Marshall, but he's a nicest player. You know what I mean? But we forget how we move on, right? Today again, tough day at the office. We struggle at home, but yeah, what? We still have a lot of season, a lot of football ahead of us. A lot of reason to be optimistic of this season. I think beating Liverpool was a high point so far in this season. And I mean, as Reem said, we can't win all. You know, we can't win all. But I guess the important thing is the reaction. It's how we respond to the defeat today, and really show that response in the Arsenal game, and the Arsenal know that hey, a big team in town, and that is the kind of performance I really hoping for we to go and bully Arsenal and show Arsenal hey, we're in the top two for no reason. We're in the top two because we're one of the best teams in the league. You know, I really put on a performance on Saturday.
Yeah. Davion is a love buddy. If you're coming out, Marcel, come good. Come good. You know, we're gonna bring you on the show one of these days, man. You know. So guys, thanks again for joining. You know, we appreciate it. Don't forget to check us on YouTube, subscribe, you know, and give you a like on that side. This video as well, share it, like it, comment, and thanks for the comments, guys. Have a good night. See you on Saturday.